If you're a ministry leader right now, you are probably caught in this weird tug of war. On one side, you've got all the tech hype, and on the other, there's this really deep and frankly understandable fear about what AI means for the church. So let's dive into this book that says, hey, there's a better way forward. And right from the get-go, the book makes a really clear promise with this one sentence. It's not going to be another breathless tech book telling you AI will solve everything overnight. And it's also not a fearful warning telling you to just stay away. It's all about finding a third, much smarter path. So let's just break down these two extremes that ministry leaders keep hearing. It really does boil down to this constant battle between all the hype and all the fear. On the hype side, you get these wild, over-the-top promises that AI will basically run your ministry for you. But then on the fear side, you have some very, very valid concerns. Ministry is personal, it's relational, it's spirit-led, and the idea of trying to mechanize something that sacred, well, it's right to question that. But here's where the book takes a really interesting turn. It argues that this whole debate misses a more subtle and maybe even more damaging problem. The issue isn't if you use AI, but how. The real danger is just using it randomly, without any kind of plan. So what does that random use actually cost you? And this is fascinating. The costs we're talking about here aren't on your budget line. They're hidden. They're all those little accumulating frustrations that just lead to this feeling that this powerful new tool, well, it just isn't working for ministry. Random use? It leads to inconsistency. One week your church newsletter sounds like it's from you, the next it sounds like a robot wrote it. It creates tons of rework because you get these theologically shallow outputs that need a ton of editing, which just wastes time. It causes disconnection, right? Where your sermon, your small groups, and your social media posts feel like they're all from different churches. And maybe worst of all, you miss out on the real insight AI can give you, that ability to use it as a partner to think deeper. Okay, so if using AI randomly is the problem, what's the solution? Well, the book suggests we need a fundamental shift in how we even approach AI in the first place. And this quote, man, it just nails the book's core argument. We have to stop chasing the perfect prompt. We have to stop treating AI like it's a slot machine where you pull the lever and just hope for a good result. The real key is to move from these one-off tactics to building durable, repeatable systems. So when we say system, what are we even talking about? It actually sounds way more complicated than it is. It's just a structured process that you design, that you control, where AI has a very specific job to do. You know what's going in, so you can predict what's coming out. It's about moving from guesswork to actual infrastructure. And every really effective system has these four things. A super clear objective, what are we trying to do? A process you can follow every single time. An outcome you can actually see and measure. And a feedback loop, so the whole thing just gets better over time. When you have these four elements in place, AI stops being a novelty and becomes a reliable tool. Okay, so that's the big idea. But what does this actually look like in the real world of ministry? Well, the book lays out 5 core ministry systems where you can install this approach, and together they create what's called the ministry operating system. The first one, and probably the most sensitive, is your sermon and teaching preparation system. Now, let's be crystal clear here. This is not about having AI write your sermon for you. Not at all. It's about using it as a super-powered study partner to dig into historical context, to analyze original languages, and to deepen your own understanding long before you ever start writing. Next up, your church communication system. This is all about unifying your voice everywhere. I mean, imagine your weekly newsletter, your social media, and your website all telling the same core stories with the same heart, the same tone. This system makes sure your communication always sounds like your church. Then you've got a discipleship and programming system. Just think about all the work that goes into designing small group studies, planning youth ministry programs, or creating a clear path for new members. This system uses AI to help brainstorm and structure all of that, which frees you up to focus on the people actually going through it. And of course, there's the administrative and operational system. So much of a pastor's week can get eaten up by volunteer coordination, event logistics, all that stuff. This system is designed to streamline those tasks, to cut down on that administrative weight so leaders can get back to the actual work of being pastors. And finally, there's a data and decision-making system. Most churches are sitting on a treasure trove of data: attendance, giving, engagement, but who has time to analyze it? This system helps you see the real trends so you can make big decisions based on what's actually happening, not just on a hunch. So here's the crucial thing to get. You're not creating these systems from scratch. They already exist in your church, even if they're informal or a bit messy. The book just gives you a framework for how to intentionally layer AI into the work you are already doing to make it all more effective. And that layering happens across what the author calls the AI operating stack. Just think of it as different levels or different roles AI can play. You can use it for high-level thinking as a strategy partner. You can use it for creation as a production tool. You can use it for optimization, for automation of repetitive tasks, and even for intelligence to find those insights in your data you might have missed. The real power comes when you start engaging multiple layers of this stack. Now, all of this, all these systems and stacks, it is all built on one core philosophy. It's like a non-negotiable guardrail that makes this whole thing work in a ministry context. And this is it. This is the key takeaway. It is not about replacing what's irreplaceable. The goal is augmentation. It's about using a powerful tool to enhance your ability to study, to communicate, and to lead, so you can focus more on the human, relational work of ministry. The pastor is always the shepherd, period. And this is such a critical reality check. This approach is not a magic wand. AI is an amplifier. It takes the intentionality and the systems you bring to it, and it makes them more effective. But it can't create discipline out of thin air. So that leaves us with a final thought to mull over. Instead of asking, should we use AI, the more powerful question this book really wants us to ask is this: how could a disciplined, systems-based approach to AI amplify the incredible work your ministry is already doing?